Alright, we're back on working on the vacuum jig fixture. So now we're going to be doing some design things. So we're going to insert the bolts and insert some locating pins as well as an O-ring. We'll start with an O-ring because I feel that it's a very powerful tool. So we are going to be making an axial O-ring. So the O-ring is along the face of this section right here. So I clicked on O-ring right here, brought up this menu. So first it wants me to click on the surface the O-ring is going to be on, so it's going to be on this surface. And then it wants a center, so you just click on a circular feature, so just click on that circle right there. That's all it wants, and then I just click on this arrow here and it brings down a menu of different kinds of O-rings I can use. I'm going to use the Parker O-ring. And then brings this little animation right here, this little preview. So you can click on these things and change the O-ring size. And honestly, it's as you can see right there, it's a big pain to use the arrows to try and find the O-ring size that you want. However, if you just double click on the arrow, okay, I want this to be, we're going to go 0.614 inches. Okay, so now the diameter of this hole is half an inch, so now it's just barely bigger than that. And it's already actually defaulted the O-ring to the size I want, 70 thousandths. And now I've got the dimensions on the O-ring are as I want them, and I say OK, and it cut a nice O-ring groove to acceptable specifications. Included radiuses in there and everything, and insert the O-ring in there. So now if I was to open this part, it's cut that O-ring groove in there for me, so that's exactly what I want. So I am happy. We'll just look at let's see here, this one here. Okay. Next up, and just so you know, the 5 jig is still there. I just changed its visibility so it's there, and I'll make it visible again. Now we're going to add in some locating pins in those parts right there. So I click here, secure pin. Now maybe there's a better way to do this than what I'm doing it, but I just click on this face, this hole, and whatever end plane, so we can click on that for an end plane. And I need to add a pin. Sorry, half of it is cut off. You wait for it to load, and it crashed. Seems to do that a lot. I do have 2 instances of Inventor open, so that might be giving it a harder time to load correctly. Okay, it came up. Let's see if I can drag it around so it's not halfway on both screens. Alright, we'll just change this to ANSI, see if that makes it a little bit more responsive. I guess I'll move it over like this. That works. Sure. Okay. And I'm just going to do a hardened ground dowel pin. Okay, it's right there, and then I can just I can change that. I can change the length. I want it to be I think I actually used a 2.5 inch dowel pin or so right here, but that looks good, so I'll just put that there. Looks good to me. This would be a 375. No, it's supposed to be a 1/4 inch. I don't know why it gave me that option. So 1/4 inch, 2.5. Looks good to me. There, it inserts the pin for me. I might have actually inserted into the part too far, but that's fine. I'm not going to worry about that. So we can either make another pin over here, or I am just going to use the pattern right here. So I'll click on this, say I want to go in let's try that again. So I'll click on the component first, good. There we go. Now it's giving me an actual direction, and let's say I don't know what that space is right there, so I just measure. I want to know the distance from come on. From here to here. It's messing up somehow. I'm guessing it's about 2.5 inches, but we can just enter like 2.5. Nope. Let's try 3. Okay, that's where it's supposed to be. I spaced this at 3 inches, so I just say okay. There we go. Now they're spaced. It's perfectly inserted into its hole there. So now if I just click on this again, visibility, good. So now I have my pins in there. I've got the O-ring in there, and I'm free to go back to design and just add some bolted connections. So let's do this connection here. Start plane, hole. It's actually through a hole, so I want to follow the pattern, and it terminates on this side. I'll be using a socket head cap screw. Excellent. Let's see here. Length looks lengthen out to 1 inch instead of 7/8. That looks good to me. Click accept. Excellent. Do the same thing here. And there, existing hole. Termination is at the bottom of this, so I'm actually clicking on the bottom of that plate right there, and it's a 5/16. It's also a socket head cap. Follow pattern, there we go. It won't include these ones since it's a different part. 1 1/4, that looks acceptable. Say okay. I'll add them to these holes as well. Follow pattern, let it terminate. Make sure it's clicked on. Once again on the bottom of that plate. Quarter, perfect. Apply. Okay. Then the last one goes in here. For the existing hole, I'll click on these holes that are already down there. I want to follow the pattern, and the termination is once again the bottom of that plate. Oh, we have a little bit of a gap on that plate. Or, no, we don't. Just kind of looks like that. Okay. That's a little too long. That looks good to me. Okay. Perfect. Alright, and now we have, at least as completed as I'm going to show it to you. We could still add some locating pins in these holes and these holes, but I believe this looks really good. So, if you have any questions, just let me know.